Are you ready for some delicious spicy fried chicken chunks with a nice dipping sauce, honey? You know I'm not coming here to play, okay? So my loves, we have some delicious chicken here that I cut up into chunks. This was about 3/4 legs, and I just chopped them up into nice size pieces here. It's already been cleaned with my vinegar, lemon juice. Okay, we want to make sure that chicken is nice and clean. It's been handled by many people and has all that gook on it. So you want to clean it nicely, okay? Now we have some chicken bouillon flavoring powder that we're going to put on our chicken. We have some sazon with culantro y achiote. Then we have some garlic powder. I have some dried herbs here. Any dried herbs will do. This is some dried mixed herbs I have here. I have some jerk seasoning, very hot. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of that in there for that heat. Some black pepper. We have some, I already showed y'all that already, the garlic powder and all that. We have some mojo marinade. I love this because it's very citrusy. It has orange juice, sour orange, lemon juice, garlic, all that stuff. If you can't find that, my loves, you could always use regular lime juice. We have some flour, oil. Okay. I have some tomato sauce, some sweet peppers, and some onion. Let's get to it, baby. All right, so this is the size that I cut the chicken pieces into for our delicious spicy fried chicken chunks. The legs, I didn't cut them because they're already small, so we're gonna keep those whole. Okay, and this is good because it could definitely feed a crowd, and you could make a pile of these. Usually we have these with you could have this with fried plantains, fries, whatever you want to have them with. So right now I am making some slits in my chicken because I want the flavors to penetrate down past the meat into that bone. Okay, and my loves, the ingredients are listed in the description box below. All right, so I'm just making a few slits in the chicken. All right, we want to really flavor this. Okay, and that's the goal when you're making good fried chicken or what have you. You want good flavor. Okay, now this is the mojo I was telling you about. You can find this in the international section of your supermarket. I really love this, but again, if you can't find this, you could just use regular lemon or lime juice, preferably lime juice. Okay, so we're using some of that. Then we're gonna add some of our sazon in here, a packet of that. Okay, and we're going to add our dried herbs. And this is very easy to make. It's something you could definitely stretch. Garlic powder. Like I said, you could serve it with fried plantains. You could have it with potato chips. Not potato chips. Well, you could do whatever the hell you want to do. And I was adding some garlic powder. What I meant to say was some fries. You could do it with potato chips. I don't know what the hell I be thinking sometimes, but anyway, some garlic powder. But you do you. Okay, it's a free world. You can do whatever you want to do. You got it with some rice, a salad. Okay, so I had to add some black pepper. Now I'm adding some chicken bouillon powder to this. All right. Now I'm going to take some of this jerk. See, we're not making jerk fried chicken. I'm just using it because this one is the hot one by Walker's Wood, and we're going to use it for that heat, baby. Okay, just a couple of tablespoons will do just fine. And that's if you're not afraid of heat. So about 1 to 2 tablespoons. If you want to make it even a little bit more spicier or even more hotter, go ahead. So I'm using my clean hands because I already could hear some of y'all, oh, she putting her hands in that and stuff. Don't come for me, my hands are clean. And we're going to use what God gave us, okay? And we're going to use that to marinate and to massage all those beautiful flavors into our chicken, all right? Once you finish doing that, guys, you can let this a good what? I mean, you could cook it right away, but I am going to let it for at least an hour or two. Okay, but if you want, you could cook it right away. Now with that mojo, like I said, it has onion, it has garlic, it has I think it has cilantro, it has sour orange, lime juice, lemon juice, or orange juice. Really good. So now, guys, we're going to take some flour. Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm adding a little bit more seasoning to my flour. I'm not adding salt, but just a little bit more garlic powder, black pepper, and some dried herbs, okay? All right, now we're going to mix that into our flour. Okay, and it's about using what you have in your house, guys. Whatever you have in your house, make it work. Okay, have a little imagination. So now I'm just going to see, this has a plastic lid on it, so this is gonna make it easy for me to shake my chicken without flour flying all over the place. I'm just taking a few of my flour pieces, and I got my oil in my pot heating up. Okay, cover that, shake that bad boy up. You don't have flour flying all over the place. And voila, our chicken is coated. It is coated. All right, so I have my oil, and I'm going to add my chicken chunks into my oil. If you want to cut the pieces down a little smaller, guys, you can as well, okay? So I have this on a medium-high heat. Now, guys, when you're frying chicken, the goal is you might have to play with that knob to fluctuate because the temperature will go down. So once we put the chicken in our oil, guys, we're gonna leave it for a couple of seconds, like 10 seconds, and then we're gonna move it around because you don't wanna have like a dark spot on your chicken. So you wanna shock that flour onto the chicken so it could create that crispness for about 10 seconds or so. And then after that, we're going to start moving that chicken around. Okay? There you go. All right, and I cook this since, the smaller you cut the chicken, the less time you have to cook it. So I cooked this for about 10 minutes. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it over. So, if you put more oil in it, you don't have to, but, I like to deep fry chicken. I don't know, I just like to do it like that, All right. I'm just taking some of that oil and putting it on the chicken as it's frying. Okay, about 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm taking a pan with some brown paper because we want to drain that excess oil, guys. And as you can see, that beautiful color on the chicken. All right. And as we set those to the side, I'm just going to let the heat come back up on in my oil again. And I'm going to cook the second batch. All right. Cooking that second batch of chicken. And we're gonna, don't overcrowd your pan. Do not overcrowd your pan because then what's gonna happen is gonna really drop the temperature and you're gonna notice that the skin gets soggy because we dropped the temperature. So, you really don't wanna do that, all right? So let it be in the oil for about 10 seconds or so. Okay, just so we can shock the flour on so I can ensure that's gonna be crisp. Okay? And I'm going to move it around. So from time to time, you got to move that chicken around, my loves. And you might have to play with the heat. Okay? Sometimes if the chicken is browning too quickly, the inside won't cook. You know, it's going to cook brown on the outside before it gets a chance to really cook on the inside. So I'm taking this batch out, my loves, as you can see. Okay, putting it on my brown paper here so it could drain the excess oil. And I'm gonna start preparing for our dipping sauce here. Now guys, remember the little bit of marinade that was left over when we marinated the chicken? Don't throw that out, because we're gonna make like a nice, cute little sauce for this chicken, okay? I'm just slicing up some onions, sweet bell peppers, and some tomatoes, okay? Dice those tomatoes up. All right. And you're gonna take a little bit of oil, guys. You're gonna take that little bit of oil and you're gonna add, I use the same oil that I fried the chicken, a little bit of that oil. Okay, let that get nice and hot. Then you're gonna start adding in your onions and your sweet peppers, okay? But don't put all the onions in, just use half of it, okay? And then after it's finished, then we'll add the last layer of onions and peppers for an extra layer of flavor, okay? If you have some garlic, add some garlic in there as well. And my loves, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Press that like button, all right, and that notification bell so you can be alerted every time I post a new video. And what else can I say? Oh yes, and don't forget, let everybody know about Jackie's Cooking. You got to spread the word, baby. You got to let them know I'm here. I have arrived. Now we're adding our diced tomatoes in here. Now the diced tomatoes for some texture, and it's also going to help thicken that sauce. If you want, you could use a little tomato paste instead, but I didn't want to go that route, okay? So hold on to that half of that. Reserve some of those onions and sweet peppers, okay? Just got that sauteing in that oil. All right. And now, my loves, we're going to add the rest of that marinade, and we're going to, that has lots of flavor. Okay. And we're going to add a little bit of tomato sauce for some body as well. All right. Now, my loves, if the sauce is a little too acidic, all you got to do, I'm going to add a little bit of water into this as well. Okay. Now, my loves, if the sauce, like I was saying, is a little too acidic, you could add a little bit of sugar. The sugar is not going to make it sweet. What it's going to do is going to cut that acidity, okay? And we're going to cook this on medium heat and let it reduce, okay? So it could get nice. It has a nice velvety, nice, thick, saucy consistency. All right, as you can see, getting thicker. All right, now we finished the sauce, and I'm just gonna add some onion, the remainder onion and pepper, and it's just gonna add an extra layer of flavor. Okay, and here you go, guys. You have your spicy fried chicken chunks with a nice dipping sauce. If you have some plantains, you can use plantains, whatever you want. I just want you to enjoy this. Leave me your comments, guys. And I need you all to do something for me. And that's eat, love, and pray. Until next time.